Being recorded by the host or a participant. This meeting
Not
is being
me. Yes, it was me.
Wayne here.
Hey,
Hi,
Wayne.
Wayne.
Howdy.
Hi, this is Linda.
Hi,
Hi,
Linda.
Linda.
Hello,
Linda.
Linda.
Hi there.
Okay, that's the 248. Linda Brown.
Uh-huh.
That's a different 248. The 0159 still hasn't responded, but I'll look
okay.
them up.
That's Don and Judy.
All right.
They must didn't get in.
I don't know why they're not talking to us today.
Probably
They may
still
not have known how
muted.
to unmute if they're doing it on their phone. They maybe have trouble unmuting.
Oh, they might have to do the phone unmute.
They always do the phone, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
no,
they said
I've
they were going
seen
to
the
be
little,
at the, on the meeting.
I've
Yeah, they
seen their
did.
record.
I talked
I've
to them
seen their mute
yesterday.
icon come on and off. So now they just muted themselves and now they're unmuted. So there's something else that's muting them. Maybe the phone
Okay.
itself has a mute option. Or maybe they have to leave and come back. I don't know. Or we just won't hear from them today.
Well, they
Oh,
can always,
ye-
they can always sign off and try coming back in and see if it fixes the problem.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Who wants to type all those digits again?
I know, right?
Okay, yeah, so the
Hello?
recording is started.
All right.
Recording is started.
Oh, there you go. Is that you, Don?
Yeah.
Hey, excellent.
Hi, Don.
Judy?
All righty. Well, I'm sure there are several people watching, listening to NCAA basketball today.
Oh,
Basketball, what's that?
That's a big thing.
Hi, Don.
No wonder they need a basket for the ball because it's a big thing, right?
Right.
Oh.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah, right.
Somebody's calling somebody.
I did it. I'm sorry. Can't unmute with, you can't. Okay.
Don,
Now I was trying to call them to just say to unmute themselves.
they're not muted. They're not
No.
muted.
Oh.
I can hear Don talking.
They can mute you.
They're way far away from the
Yeah, I hear it, Don,
from the
now.
phone though, or something.
They need to be closer
Yeah.
to the phone.
Try it now.
We can hear
Closer.
you, Don. Don, we can
better.
hear you. You're just really, really quiet.
But she's trying to get her.
he's trying to get Judy to
Yeah.
go to.
Oh,
He's trying to get her. Her hand is raised now.
Yep. We see it.
Okay. Yep, she sees it. All right, you must be muted then, Judy. Yeah.
Oh, do you have two phone lines or two phones open in the house?
We just have one phone line, but an extension phone.
Yeah, I
Oh,
wonder if that's affecting the sound level.
It could be.
Probably.
Wait a minute. I'm gonna hang up so she can. What are you?
Welcome, Muriel.
Lord.
Hi.
Hi, Muriel. Well, why don't we run through our guest list? I'll see if I can read through the names. It's myself and Kathy Koning, Don and Judy, Rosemarie, Shirley, Marion Ward, Muriel Walters, Dan Bassett, Linda Brown, Sue Perry, Wayne Love Yours, Andrea Ordway, David Sterneman just joined, and Kashania Graham. Who else? And Phyllis.
And here comes Renee.
Oh, Renee.
Renee has joined the meeting.
All right. Hi,
Who's still
Renee.
got their speaker on? Might have to mute you. So far we've just been talking about the weather for the most part. Oh, hey, now I have snow. It's blowing sideways.
Oh, that is weird.
It's a good day to be inside. That's for sure.
Sounds like someone's car door.
Yeah, it does.
Backing up. There's Renee.
Beep, beep, beep.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Renee.
How you doing?
Hi. Renee.
Hi, Renee.
Hey,
Hi,
Don,
hello.
you still have your hand
All
up.
right.
You,
Hi, Renee.
Hello.
hear me
Put your
now?
hand down, John.
Oh.
Well, he said
all
Judy
right.
was testing out the hand,
okay.
Uh,
All right. Good deal.
but I can put the hand down.
News. Now.
Oh, they already did it.
Spotlight. We can read.
There.
A couple tried it
Okay.
out with 2 kids of every race.
Now, can you still
Didn't go
hear
well.
me?
Plus,
Yep.
Yes,
trouble
yes,
with
real
Ren's
good. You
favorite
clear.
dog breed.
Oh, okay. Now we got both phones working straight here.
Simple connection.
Who's got Rosemary? I think that's yours.
No, I don't think so. Well,
Yeah, it was. She muted herself, but now she's talking. You can see her lips moving. All right.
Nope.
Renee, do you have snow?
There's a little bit on the ground, but no.
Nothing new
it's
yet?
just- no, it's just
Where are
cold
you
out
located?
today. Sterling Heights.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Give it another 20 minutes. It just got to me here in Ann Arbor, so it's
I
coming.
think it's about 30 degrees right now. Yesterday it was really nice.
It's cold and windy yesterday.
It was windy. It wasn't really that cold. Well, I guess not for me.
Well,
Well,
if you were
all
sheltered
relative.
from the wind, it wasn't too bad, but I was in the wind.
It's all relative.
I was walking in the woods.
There you go. Those trees are good insulation.
Yes, I usually don't get cold really until I'm waiting for the bus, because then I'm just standing there for a half hour.
Ugh.
So David, welcome.
Hello.
guys.
How you doing?
David.
Hi, Dave.
There was something
Hi.
going on with her though.
Look, but you made it.
So David, I hate to put you on the spot. Our friend Art Turner is not with us today, it doesn't look like. And so
Okay.
I'm just wondering if you could, since you're the chaplain for Clear Lake Lions, maybe you can get some practice and start us off with a little blessing.
I'd be glad to do that. If you're ready to do that, I could do that now.
I don't know, we might as well get started. So I'm sure we'll have some others join us.
Okay. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you that we can come together here across the state on Zoom. And I pray that we have a good time today in our Winter Camp Chat meeting, that you would bless it, and that we have a good conversation talking about the past Winter Camp and ways that it could be improved. And thank you that we were able to gather in person this year for the first time in 3 years. And I pray that you would keep everybody warm and safe on this wintry and blustery day. In your name, amen.
All right, amen.
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 Looks like we had Gina join us.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Gina.
Hi.
I saw Gina on Thursday.
You
Oh,
did.
all right.
Hi, Gina.
Hi. So Gina,
How are you?
was this your birthday week?
No.
No, coming up.
No. Yes. Next a week from tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
No,
like
she
to
got
do
to practice
stuff
with a
throughout the
leader
month.
dog.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Oh,
I enjoyed that.
The leader talking about. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, there was a tour and we had, I don't know,
Yeah,
like 25, 30 people up there. But we'll put that in the right place in the agenda. Sorry, Roger, what's your agenda?
That's good.
Well,
I didn't think I needed to go because I've been there before.
I had a couple of things I put down. One was to talk about winter camp, but we can save that for a minute. But recently we lost one of our campers, Nancy Tobias.
Oh.
Yeah,
she has been having a variety of health problems. It just was too much for her, I think. And it took her. She was having, I think she was having a lot of, I think congestive heart failure was part of it, because she was retaining fluid. And then of course she had a stroke back in October of last year, which really kind of put her out of commission. And but I think it was kind of a shock to their family.
okay.
But very much, very sad to lose her, because she was such a nice person.
Yes, yes, she was.
And
I didn't know her that well, but she seemed like a nice person from what I knew of her.
Wow.
yeah,
So
she-
it was unexpected.
well, she'd been quite sick. She'd been in the hospital extensively, really, with the issue with her fluid retention. And I honestly, I don't know exactly the cause of her passing, but I'm going to speculate that it was related to her heart. But she was also quite diabetic, and so a lot of those factors just kind of can come together and be kind of a perfect storm, I guess. But so yeah, Nancy was a great person. I'd spent a fair amount of time with her. She had started out as the treasurer for the Clear Lake Lions Club, had volunteered to do that, and then when she had her stroke in October, that pretty much put her out of commission, and she couldn't really do it because she lost the use of her right hand, so she couldn't write anything down. And so, and then through her recovery, I think she had a bad experience at a rehab center that she was at in Dowagiac. And so they were feeding her all sorts of foods that were high in salt, which just exacerbated her fluid retention and actually put her back in the hospital. And I think she was pretty much in from the beginning of the year. She was in and out of the hospital. But so yeah, she and unfortunately, anyway, so anybody have any thoughts about Nancy that they'd like to share? She loved winter camp, that's for sure.
This is Rosemary, and I know we'll miss her up at summer camp because she used to come every year, or her and Scout.
Scout? Is that her dog?
Yeah.
That was her dog, yeah.
Oh, okay. What's
What was
the dog?
Her dog's name was Scout, but then she had a new dog, another dog, and I don't remember the name of her new dog.
Are you thinking Nancy Martin?
Oh, you're wrong, Nancy.
You're
Oh,
thinking
I'm
Nancy-
sorry.
It's a Nancy. Tobias.
No, Nancy
Tobias.
didn't have a dog.
No,
Nancy-
that's
Okay.
what I was wondering.
Okay. I apologize. I
That's fine.
apologize.
Hey,
That's all right.
She does have a dog, but it wasn't a leader dog.
Nancy likes to play euchre.
Yeah.
you like
Got
to
me.
share recipes too.
But anyway, yes. So please remember her husband, and her husband's name was Larry. Larry, and
Okay.
unfortunately,
Her
they
stepdaughter.
stepdaughter Cindy, and Cindy, her stepdaughter came to camp with her a few years ago. Her name was Cindy Tobias, and probably 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was. But anyway, they were quite shocked, and it's been hard on them. So anyway, it's hard to lose folks, and quite honestly, and Rosemary, to your point, I think that Nancy Martins is not in good health. Who had the dog Scout, because we only had 2 people from Grand Rapids that came to camp this year, and we normally have like 4, maybe 4 or 5. So But so I need to find out about Nancy and find out what's going on with her because she's it's and I think some of it might have been COVID related in terms of just people being concerned about being in a group of people. So that could have been part of it.
We have a hand up.
Let's go ahead, Andrea. She's muted.
Yeah, I was gonna say Nancy Martin was one that had Scout, then Scout died, and she got Abby.
Ah, okay. Great. Now we know. Abby.
All right. So what do we have next?
Well, let's do a recap of camp and see if anybody had any thought. I've heard a lot of good things. Do we have some things that we should have done differently, or you'd rather see done differently? We can talk about transportation too. That'd be a good topic to talk about, is transportation. But we can save that.
Can I make a quick comment before we
Sure.
about Nancy?
Yes.
In the time that she was the treasurer for the club, I would say that she, despite her health issue before that, I would say she, I was still fairly new to the club, but I would say she did a good job of being the treasurer.
Well,
She was very committed. She was very committed to that. So yeah. Thank you, David.
we have a hand up.
Go on.
Okay, Marion.
Okay, I had a question. Let's go over isn't the camp supposed to be for the blind and the visually impaired?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Reason why I asked that because I don't like to give out names, but I know Carrie, she's blind, but her son is sighted, but he's mentally challenged. Is he supposed to come up there? He basically is supposed to be for, like I said, the visually impaired and the blind, but he helps her, but he don't help her up there because they're in different dorms, but she's at home. But is that allowed up there, Mr. Boss? Yes. Is more or less the question
Yes.
for you.
Yes, we've always allowed, or at least as far as as far as I know, we've always allowed a person to bring a sighted guide with them that helps out. And so, it's not always the same gender. We've had, folks that came that had a sighted guide that was a different gender, a male versus a female, whatever, or a female sighted guide for a male. And so, yes, that's part of what we do.
Okay, but reason why I'm questioning it, Mr. Boss, the reason why I'm questioning that, if that's the case, you might as well let Tiffany and Andrew and Pat Young come back up there. If that's the case, isn't that, that's only fair, isn't it?
If they were to help, if they were to be helping, but they sort of came as campers and didn't really help somebody else, I mean, they were there to.
Tiffany did a little, but not much. Okay. All right. That's all I wanted to bring up, that part.
Right.
Okay. I can unmute myself. I can take my hand down.
Okay.
Your hand is down.
How do I put my hand up?
Oh, never mind. Unraise my hand, Kathy.
Your hand is down again. Actually,
thank you.
The same action to put your hand up puts your hand down. And if you're on the phone, remind me, that's *9.
Okay, yeah, *9. Put my hand down.
Yep. So Linda was, your hand's down. So Linda was asking how to put it up. So *9 puts your hand up.
Okay.
Linda was asking.
No, that's the question I wanted to ask. I just wanted to be sure it wasn't no hard feelings or nothing like that.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
We understand. Okay, so Linda was wondering, yep, there's her hand. Good. Linda found the *9.
I sure did. The only thing I can say about camp, I thought we had a very nice time this past camping season. The only thing is Friday night was kind of cold, but then that was rectified the next night and everything was just wonderful as far as I'm concerned.
It sure was. It was good. Good.
Yep. The food and everything was good. It was nice seeing everybody that I hadn't seen in a while. And I just hope we keep on going. And thanks.
Good. And go ahead and press start. Oh, good. She got it.
That was good.
The temperature in the dorm was still sort of a question.
Yeah, it was
as
kind of
to
cold.
how that all happened. But
Yeah.
so, you know, and we've had a lot of discussion about it, believe me. And I don't know that we still know exactly what happened, other than the fact that it was cold.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
So
50 degrees cold.
The camp realizes that is a really high level of importance, especially with, you know, older people. You know, it's not good. So they felt really bad about it. And, you know, because I had been assured on Thursday before camp started that everything was cool, everything was good. I didn't mean that as a pun. I've been watching Gina's posts a lot lately, so I'm thinking, you know, thinking jokes here, but yeah, they said that they would make sure that their maintenance folks were on it if it looked like anything was a problem. So that and of course they said, well, it'll never be 80 in the dorm, but it should have been 70. So
it was very toasty on Saturday. It was very toasty.
Yes, very good.
So
Rosemary
has her hand up. Rosemary?
Yeah. There I am.
You have your hand up.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the one comment that I had is on the wagon ride, it would have been nice if somebody had cleared off the bench seats so we didn't have to sit on a bunch of snow.
Not just snow, but ice.
Yeah.
So yeah, dusting them early enough in the day that they could be dry by the time people use them. Or maybe we just have some blankets.
Well, the blankets would have soaked through anyway.
Oh yeah. Maybe one of those waterproof tablecloths.
Yeah, something like that, but it would have made the ride more comfortable because the rest of the day we ended up with wet jeans. So
well, you know, they had the wagon sitting outside, and so actually the day before camp I was over there and there was about 6 inches of snow on those seats.
Whoa.
that I tried to clean off as best as I could, but yeah, we should have done a better job with that. I will, hopefully maybe it'll be inside next year where it'll be dry, but
or maybe we could tarp it ahead of time.
Yeah, so that's a great point.
yeah, it wasn't that we didn't enjoy the ride, it's just it was so cold and icy on your butt. So
And a good time for that is I really enjoyed when Roger and his wife did their dance for us. I mean, that was a good
cool.
one.
I enjoyed when B played El Shaddai.
Yeah. B and her singing.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know if you guys are aware that those videos from winter camp, we have them out on our YouTube page. So you can actually hear her sing over and over and over again.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm familiar. Yeah, I saw that.
So we can relink it. I don't know if you guys, what method you prefer us to transfer that link to you, but we're out on YouTube and Facebook. And so if you can't find us, let us know and we'll help you. We'll help you find us.
You can put the link in
Gina
the
has her
email.
hand up though.
Oh, I'm sorry. I said you can put the link in an email that you like when you send them out to us from the Zoom.
Oh yeah.
That'd be a good idea. And so I would recommend you do that then.
Gina has her hand up.
So I had a good time all the way through. I wish you and I would have gotten a chance to get the service project going.
Yeah,
with
it
Braille
really
and
just
the
turns out
Keno
we had the
board.
wrong equipment.
I understand. And I enjoyed the four-wheeler?
Oh, the four-wheeler.
Yeah, I was a bit skeptical because I didn't think it was gonna go too far and be that fun, but I enjoyed myself on that. So yeah.
I didn't get a
I
chance to do that this time around, but that's all right.
I recommend that for everybody. That was really good. Really good.
There's a lot of trails at the camp that that they can go on. We actually they were actually thinking about taking the horse ride on those trails, the wagon ride, and I think well, it was a good thing he didn't, because his horses were acting up a bit, and so they were having a hard enough time just walking on the paved roads, around.
Yeah, one of them wasn't feeling good, so the other one was having to carry the load.
Yeah, I think I noticed that, yeah.
Then it got mad, I think.
No, I was talking to him because I was standing behind him while we were driving, and you could see that one was lagging behind and the other one was working extra hard. So we all have those days, right? We wake up and go, oh,
yeah,
I have to go to work.
And this is Rosemary. Got one comment about the entertainment. I really like Reverend Buddy, and it'd be cool to have him back.
Bobby Holly,
Oh,
yeah.
Bobby Holly, yeah, that guy.
That was good.
I keep saying Buddy Holly because his name is Bobby Holly. Sorry about that.
Bobby. Yeah, he was good.
He said he'd come back next year. So
Good. That's good.
he had a great time. He had a wonderful time. He said, yeah, he really had a good time, especially when people got up and sang with him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. So
I really enjoyed the charter event, and just all the work that went into that, and just the people from the past positions that were there to speak. And I thought it was cool. I can't remember. I think it was Justin, I think, that mentioned the thing about the story about the 1968 Tigers. I'm a huge Tigers fan. My mom grew up watching them when she was young when maybe my grandfather watched when they won the 1968 World Series.
yeah, that was a good story, and that's I think that is they did record that that charter event, so it's
Yeah, they did.
it's out there.
We should find out where that's at and include the link in the meeting minutes from today.
Right.
Jesse is working on uploading it to YouTube. I believe it's on the website, or he's working on it. It's on the website, I
All
think.
right, I'll drop my note and see if I can get the link.
Also, Sean had sent out an email a while back with a link in it.
Oh, okay.
I probably have that, Kathy, if we can capture that and put it on the YouTube channel, we can do that.
Yeah.
Do you want to
he
look
said-
for it before I ask Sean?
I'll look for it.
All right.
Jesse had said he tried to upload it to YouTube at our last business meeting, but he said it couldn't upload it because the file was too large.
Oh, yeah, sometimes you have to break things into pieces, first half, second half. But
Yeah,
I haven't
so-
run into that with YouTube yet.
It sounds
Um,
like he needs a little help with that.
Okay, I can edit videos too, but anyway, we'll figure it out.
Okay.
One of the things that I would have loved to have done, we had a few videos, because I had a request afterwards. They said, well, where's the video of the talent show? And so I know we had a few videos, of like Tyrone, and I know we had one of B, and my wife and I dancing, but we didn't record the whole thing. And I don't know how the best way is to do that. In terms of what technology to use to just set it up to record the whole business. So I don't know if anybody's got any thoughts on that. Any of you techies out there? Kathy's on the phone right now. She's muted.
I another
Probably
thing
using a separate,
Nope, one at a time, please.
okay.
So David, you started.
Another thing that I thought was cool, one of the cadets, I think they're called associates now, but she was from Lake Orion, so I thought that was cool. She said that she lives down the street from me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
Walden.
Okay, Gina.
That's so cool, David.
Yeah.
I know, small world, huh, David?
Yeah.
No, I was going to say maybe using like another device, like a tablet or, you know, something else than your phone, because I know the phone only holds so much as far as recording.
Yeah, that's a good idea. We could just set it up to do that. I know that we had originally talked about trying to, you know, like do a live Facebook. We didn't get to that. You know, like a Facebook Live thing, and that would have, we could have recorded it in that way.
Kashana,
But we'll just have to think about that for next year, because I think there's a lot of people that would like to see it, to see what people do.
Yeah.
Did you have something?
this is Kashana.
Yeah.
Maybe next time you can just do like little bites, like little pieces of it, instead of trying to record the whole thing. And just do like, you know, sometimes when, you see like these shows and awards, they do like little bits of it. So instead of like recording the whole act, like Kathy was saying, she know how to edit it. You can just do like little pieces of it, of people's act, not the whole thing, but just do little pieces and do like highlights of everybody's act instead of trying to record the whole talent show. That way you can get a piece of everybody that, was involved in the show.
Are we still on talent show or are we on Clear Lake?
We're on
The
talent show.
Okay. Yeah, with the talent show, all the videos are separate.
Yeah, and just put
didn't
them all
know.
together and make one big thing.
Yeah, we could put them all in together, but right now they're all separate on YouTube. So you can, and I put them in a playlist, so you can go down the playlist and just click next, next, next.
So you have those compiled in.
Roger, is there,
Oh yeah, they're out there. So yeah, Cynthia Cooper's having trouble connecting, so I might have to duck out again. We'll see.
is there anything else that I need to be here for? Because I got to go.
Well, we can let you go. Do you have any comments about camp that you'd like to share?
I enjoyed it, but I was way too busy. If that makes sense.
That's a hard problem.
Yeah, but it was good. It was good. Everything was okay except freezing, almost freezing to death, but everything was good.
Okay.
So we'll
Thanks
catch you all late next month.
for joining us. Have fun in Illinois.
Oh yeah, of course,
Yeah.
always.
Right.
All right.
All righty. So what we can now, Kathy, question on the YouTube.
Oh, all right.
Don and Judy have their hand up, right, Roger?
Yeah, I know. I was just
Okay.
I started my thought before I saw their hand. Can we send? Will that appear as a link? I mean, could we send that link out to people and it would?
Yeah. Per someone else's suggestion, I think it was Gina's suggestion, to include the links to both our Facebook pages and our YouTube in the meeting minutes from today.
Okay.
And
Yeah, that sounds
what
good.
do I search to find the YouTube channel? Do I put in winter camp or something else?
Put in Lions Winter Camp. If you just put in winter
Okay.
camp, you get like hunting sites and stuff. Put in Lions Winter Camp.
Okay.
And if you
Because
want
I usually
to,
put winter camp in, but I get a bunch of stuff, but I'm still able to find it.
yeah, Lions.
And then
Winter
once you
Camp.
find it, bookmark it.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah,
Don and
there's
Judy.
different tabs. There's once you get to our channel, there's like videos and playlists and something else. Go to playlists because then you can see all the things from camp. If you just go to the videos list, they're sorted depending on your browser. They might be sorted by date. They might be sorted by, alphabetical. And so Roger always has trouble finding the promotional video that I added narration to. But I did rename it so that hopefully he can find it faster next time he looks for it.
I have it on a stick. I have it on a stick. So.
Yeah. But if you're
Okay,
ever
Donna
out and
Judy,
about and don't
you
have
got
the
your
stick
hand
with
up.
you.
Yeah, I thought they did.
Go ahead, Donna Judy.
Yes, I think, you know, for the Lions clubs, we should have maybe perhaps a 5 or 10 minute shots of not only indoor but outdoor activities. So it's not just the talent show, and then you know, because you can't take too much time during a Lion meeting, but you know, certainly maybe 5 or 10 minutes, that would be a good thing.
So Don, we have a promotional video that's one of our team members put together, and Kathy narrated it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's available. It's about 4 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
4.5 minutes, and it goes.
Roger, what do you think if I play it now?
Well, we can
Or
do
if you
that.
play it now?
Oh boy.
That would be nice.
They wouldn't be, I mean, I could share my screen and those who can see could see the pictures that are included, but for the most part, we'd really be interested in just sharing the narration, right?
Yeah. I gotta
Right,
find
give
it.
me a second, I'll pull it up.
Okay.
The other thing I wanted to comment on is I think that's fine if we bring if blind people bring a sighted person to be helpful, and they should be included as far as any prizes that the campers might have. And the reason I say that is because last year, Daryl, or I should say this last year, Daryl became king.
Yeah.
And he was also a sighted helper, but that's fine. I'm just saying that the sighted helpers that come to help blind people, they should be entitled to or be able to be a part of the prizes at camp.
Don, they are.
They are. Oh, okay. Well, then that solved that problem. Thank you.
Yeah. So really the only people that aren't part of those prizes and that sort of thing are the volunteers that come, you know, like from the Lions clubs. You know, and so
I see.
because they get to come
That's
to camp,
fine.
they get to come to camp and enjoy it, helping everyone, but they don't participate in the, they're there to help, not to benefit necessarily,
Right.
except for the experience. And I will tell you that there are a lot of people that come. We had a lady that was in our club that came, and she had never been to camp before. And she enjoyed it immensely. She just thought it was the one of the best experiences she's ever had, meeting all of you and being of service, so it was, it's a life-changing experience for people all around. And the cadets, I will tell you, the associates, so it's not, they're different people. Okay. So that, just so you know, the associates were part of what they call the Job Challenge program. Which, after they are cadets and finish their time as a cadet, they graduate, and they can either go home or they can stay in the it's part of the facility. It's part of the National Guard facility. Is where they reside, and those young people, they either are finishing their high school degree, a GED, or they are taking technical training at Kellogg Community College, or some other type of advanced degree to help them get a job. So they're older than the cadets would have been, and I tell you what, a group of them came up to us, and you guys heard their testimony at probably Saturday night dinner or Sunday breakfast.
Sure did.
And they came to us and said, well, next year, we're going to be civilians, and can we come back and volunteer? How can we do that? How can we come back and volunteer with this group?
That's wonderful.
So they they really got a great deal of personal growth and it was a great experience for them. So they were very appreciative of the opportunity to do that. So.
And they
Yeah, I
were
know
so
there were some
helpful.
associates that
They were very helpful and
explaining-
very patient with us.
Yeah, they
they
sure
were
were.
explaining to me how wonderful the experience was. So it's a good thing.
Yep. Yep.
You guys
So-
are ready.
Okay, Kathy, I'm
Oh,
ready.
and welcome, Cynthia. You tried very hard to get in and apparently you're successful.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hey, Cynthia.
So if you guys are ready, I will go ahead and share my screen. Where did that button go again?
I'm trying to
Oh, share screen. There we go.
myself. Oh, *6, I think.
And
Star,
*6 is mute.
there we go.
I know only a couple of you actually are connected on video devices, but so what we're going to do is a little quick demonstration of the YouTube channel, the Lions Winter
Fine.
Camp for the Blind Winter Camp channel. And when you first connect, there's options across the top: home, videos, shorts, playlists, community, channels, about. But what we're interested in today is playlists. And so what I have on here for playlists is one is entitled, the playlists are kind of like folders. So I have a folder that contains the videos for 2023 Winter Camp. And then there's also another one over here called Tyrone Hamilton that has some of his videos that are on his YouTube channel, but I put links here. So if we go to 2023 Winter Camp, it says view full playlist. And then we have our choice of 15 different videos, including 2023 Winter Camp, where Matthew is talking. And this was at the end of the talent show where Dorothy presented Matthew with a thank you. And he said some words. We also have 2023 Bobby Holly at Winter Camp Friday night, which is just a quick little video, about a minute, of some song and dance. Then we have 2023 Winter Camp B singing The Heart of Worship, where I was holding her mic stand and videotaping her at the same time. Then we have 2023 Winter Camp Dorothy and Roger Bossy dancing to It's a Wonderful World. And then 2023 Winter Camp B singing Swimming to the Other Side. 2023 Winter Camp Tyrone leads the welcome song. And it's funny because the welcome song includes not the associates, but the cadets. And so in the back of the room, every time you sang cadets, someone went, associates.
Okay.
And then we have 2023 Reverend Bobby Holly with Daryl. They were doing some song and dance. Oh, hang on, Renee needs to get back in. Okay. 2023 Winter Camp I'll Be There with Reverend Bobby Holly. 2023 Winter Camp Reverend Bobby Holly with Tanya dancing. 2023 Winter Camp I'll Be There, group singing together. 2023 Winter Camp, the associates boys were doing a little dance, so I've got just a quick little clip of them. 2023 Winter Camp On the Road Again with Tyrone and Jesse. 2023 Winter Camp Jailhouse Rock with Reverend Bobby Holly. 2023 Winter Camp Mustang Sally, and that was Reverend Bobby Holly and Tyrone singing together. And then we have 2023 Janie Sings with Tyrone. So all of those videos are posted out here. And there's lots of other things that happened at camp, but these were the fun ones that I got videos of from.
Very cool.
So which one was it we wanted to do?
You were going to play the promotional video.
Oh, that's not even in the 2023 Winter Camp list. Let's go back to the
Somebody
big
wants to hear
list.
something that's in here.
Sorry about that. I got distracted. All right, so
That was good.
then I'll come here to videos, and they should be listed. Let's go to popular. All About Winter Camp narrated. Good, and right there at the start of the list. I must have alphabetized that correctly. Let's see. Oh, I gotta turn my sound on.
In the Battle Creek area and for
Yeah.
Winter Camp for the Blind is a tradition in the Battle Creek area and for Lions Clubs International, District 11B1.
You hear that
The
okay?
camp is held at the Battle Creek
Yeah.
Outdoor
Yes.
Education Center,
Okay.
also known as Clear Lake Camp, on
Yes.
the first weekend of February each year. The camp was started in 1969 by Jeanette Maris, a blind teacher of blind children in the Battle Creek schools. For a few years, it was a project of the Battle Creek Public Schools, operating on a local grant and staffed by local teachers. When the grant money ran out, the project was picked up by the Battle Creek Area Lions Clubs. Over time, the project grew to be managed by the Lions of District 11B1. Financing, volunteers, and campers now come in from across the district, the state, and beyond. Campers look forward to a weekend away to enjoy fellowship with old friends and new ones. Campers arrive on Friday afternoon by train from Metro Detroit and by car from further away areas such as Alpena and Grand Rapids. Lions Clubs provide assistance through financing and rides. Serial City Lions help campers on and off the train in Battle Creek, with local school corporations offering safe transportation to the Outdoor Education Center. Cadets from the Michigan Youth Challenge Academy assist the campers when they arrive and throughout the weekend with meals, navigation, and finding their favorite bunk space in the men's and women's dorms. A navigational rope is run from the dorms to the main building for the campers' use. Our volunteers keep busy, from making a pictorial directory of the campers and volunteers, checking the campers in upon arrival, working the front desk, and serving meals, to providing interesting programs throughout the weekend. Our chaplain, Lion Art, offers prayer at each meal. The staff at the Outdoor Center cooks up delicious meals throughout the day with coffee and snacks at various times. Meals are served by volunteers from local and district Lions Clubs along with the cadets. Each meal includes announcements for upcoming activities. Friday night after dinner, the campers enjoy entertainment provided by local choirs and musicians, including some of our own committee members. Saturday is our big activity day, with lots of events both indoor and outdoor. Bingo is one of the most popular activities. Bingo is organized by the Bedford Area Lions Club and supported by many of the district clubs, who provide prizes that the campers look forward to every year. Sighted volunteers and the cadets assist the campers with their bingo cards and prize selection. Guide dogs are a part of life at camp and enjoyed by the campers and volunteers alike. The weekend is filled with camaraderie among Lions, campers, and special visitors, including technology exhibits staffed by Western Michigan University grad students and others. There is white cane repair and replacement. In the nature room, you can learn about snakes and other animals. There are craft projects and just plain relaxing with friends in the lounge. Outdoor activities are dictated by the weather. The weekend can include snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, snowmobiling, or four-wheeler rides. There is always a hike to the bird listening cabin where microphones pick up sounds at the feeders for campers to hear inside the building. Many campers enjoy a horse-drawn wagon or sleigh ride around the camp property and even get a chance to pet the horses. If the weather is right, there may even be a campfire. Campers come inside to warm up and relax by the fireplace. They can attend a Vesper service with Lion Art if they choose. After a great Saturday evening meal, the campers enjoy a talent show put on by the campers themselves. We have dancers, singers, instrumentalists, and even the cadets perform. Sunday morning brings another great breakfast and preparation to return home, feeling great from a weekend with friends, old and new, and thinking about next year's camp. Please come and join us for a weekend of fun and service in a winter woodland setting.
That was really good.
Yes,
It really
was.
Yeah.
Explained everything that we did and
Yeah,
the way
it
everything
was.
was involved and put together.
It was excellent. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, very comprehensive.
How did everyone call it? Well, I feel like I'm at the camp again.
Yep.
What?
Yep.
Gina
Kathy's got a great
posted that she feels like she was back at camp again.
I like the music in the background. That was
Who's
nice.
got the news on?
Yes, mute. Currently unmuted. Alt plus A buttons.
Oh. Ah, sorry, I hit unshare, but apparently it was still running in the background. I'm muting everybody and myself. Sorry about that.
Well, I tell you, and Don, to your point, you know,
Don.
this is available to any Lions Club in the state that wants to see it, you know, to learn about winter camp. So
Okay.
when I go to
I-
the district meetings or the state meetings, I always take a like a sign up sheet for people that want to have a, you know, like a presentation or something or more information. So
That would be good to use at the state convention that's going to happen here in Muskegon in May, Roger.
Well, I feel like
yeah, I usually have it on the computer running. I don't always have the audio going just because it's usually so busy with people that you couldn't really hear it much. But
Mhm.
the video runs for sure.
Yeah, that's a good informational video.
Speaking of
The video was originally created by another lion, and then I added the narration. So you may have noticed that the music didn't start right away. So
Yeah.
the part that I added to the front of the video doesn't have music, but the part that has music is the part that existed before it arrived at my desk. And it's a really good collection, along with the narration, it's a really good collection of pictures of campers. And so you can
Okay.
see what's actually happening as the narration describes it. So that kind of makes it fun too. You can see old friends and
Yeah, it was a great video, and I really owe a lot to Kathy for putting such a great narration. And it's very soothing. You have a very soothing voice when you do that, Kathy. So
you know how many times I practiced that?
well,
You're a professional.
well, to get the timing right, you know, and that's the other thing is
I
Yeah.
kind of
timing of the narration follows the pictures, you know, so that when she's talking about the dinner, you know, there's pictures of people eating dinner and, you know, the talent show and all those sorts of things. So, yeah, it's anybody that sees it, I will tell you that anybody that sees it is just amazed. I mean, I showed it to some of our local volunteers, our local Lions clubs, and they were blown away by it, you know, and it's not like they had never seen the video, but when you have the narration and some of we even have it closed captioned somewhat, you know, for maybe not as well as we could have.
YouTube auto generates closed captioning.
Oh, do they? Oh,
Yeah,
I
I
didn't
didn't
know
close
that.
caption it.
but anyway, so yeah, it was great, and we're really happy with that, and there's probably no need to change it either. So it pretty much tells the story about winter camp, which is a good one.
Yeah, and it's available to everybody. You can show it at your club meetings. You can show it to your friends.
Yes, sounds good.
So if you're trying to talk somebody into
Yeah.
coming, you know, to camp, you know, and I know there are a lot of people that have said, oh, I have a friend that would like to come, but they're not sure, you know, that sort of thing. So it's, you know, we were down on numbers this year. We had 35 campers, and the last year we had camp, we had 56, I think. So, you know, we were a good 20 campers down, and a lot of it had to do with COVID, but you know, a lot of people are getting older and they just, you know, it's hard to travel. So I know Margaret Honeyegger, she would love to come, but she just feels like she's at 96. She feels like she's a little too old to be getting out in the middle of winter. So, and that was only
Are
3 years
I
ago.
on mute or no?
Pardon?
Don and I, we're not muted, are we? Don and I?
No,
We can hear you.
we can hear you.
Oh, okay. I just wondered because Don had the phone before and I wasn't sure. And I'll tell Don about that because just so you guys played it for him to hear, he left the room.
Oh.
So it's like good play, Don, you know. So, but well, so how that's on YouTube, and what do you have to put in to be able to reach that? Is it Lions Winter Camp for the
Yeah,
blind?
Judy,
or
do you
what?
get emails from Roger?
No, we don't have no. But Don's Lions Club, Don gave a presentation to them, but Don concentrated on more what we ate than what was really going on. He wrote out the whole menu for them, and they're going, "Boy, you guys ate good." It's like they didn't want to know what you ate, Don. They wanted to know what we did. So
you have
it
a
was
computer, but you don't have email?
We don't have a computer.
Oh,
No,
okay.
we don't have that either.
We could.
All right. So yeah, if you're telling people where to look, tell
We
them to
could
search
find-
YouTube for Lions Winter Camp for the Blind.
YouTube Lions Winter Camp for the Blind. That's easy.
If Don,
Because Don knew there was something, and I think for sure one of them could set it up and play it.
right, that's what I was going to suggest. If we can get,
Because we're really trying to get one of his lions to come, but they'll take us to the train station and bring us home again. But as far as going for the whole weekend, they really, I think they're just not sure what it is, and that really would be good for them.
I would be glad to send them a link if I can find out who to send it to, Judy.
Okay, well, Don can get back with you about that.
Don can let me know who to send it to. I would be glad to send them a link if he would like to, have them do another
would.
presentation.
Because they're interested, but, that would really make a difference. At
You guys
least
are in Hazel Park, right? Hazel Park
Yep,
line.
Hazel Park. You do have, on our application, you do have Peggy Burleson's phone number. She used to be their secretary, but her health is going down. But she would be an excellent person to contact about that, by phone.
Okay.
But,
Okay, that's great. Well, I
yeah.
think we try to do as much as we can in our district to show the video because we'd like people in our district to support, the camp both, and they do a pretty good job financially. But, it's getting to the point where, it'd be great if we could get some help from other parts of the state.
That's right.
For, and we do get a lot of help volunteer wise, like Jack brings Shirley and Rosemarie over and, he stays and helps and, and so that's great too. If we could get people to come and be volunteers, that's all the better.
Mm-hmm.
Just need to let people know that it's not anything to be afraid of. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it
Well,
is.
Don's Lions Club, they've went down to only 8 members now from they used to have about 70, and just over the past few years, it's really dropped. And they're thinking of having to merge with another Lions Club. So maybe if that happens, you kind of get 2 Lions Clubs at once, to show it to more people at the same time, you know what I mean?
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's great. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Well, there are clubs that exist that don't have more members than that, right, Kathy?
Oh, it's getting hard for their group. Yeah.
Yep. I think we've got 6 registered members and 4 active.
They have about 8, and that's it. And it's, but they're going to either merge with Ferndale or Warren, or maybe Royal Oak, one of those. But they just can't keep going the way they're going.
Hard.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
We've found that doing projects with our other local clubs is kind of a compromise between merging with them and going it alone. So we do projects, like our Project Kids site at the local preschools is organized by one of the club members in the Ann Arbor Host Club, but then I'm in the Ann Arbor Evening Club, and we also have the Huron Valley Sunrise Club. And so the three of us clubs put up volunteers, as well as we're close to U of M. We haven't gotten any of the U of M club members. There's a student club on campus. We haven't gotten any of them out to Kids Site, but there's a sorority that has a vision focus. And so the Delta Gamma girls will come out and volunteer with us.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Well, they just had the governor at their last meeting, and he said, you're talking about merging, so.
Yeah.
But that's the way it is.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sorry, I'm monopolizing this, guys. I'll be quiet now.
Roger, what's next on the agenda?
Well, I wanted to, and this kind of relates to summer camp as well. And since we have Kashania on the phone today, I wanted, I had gotten to know this lady, Lillian Quickly over at the, in Detroit, and she was sort of representing the Greater Detroit Agency for the Blind and Visually Impaired. And so I was able to meet her. And so there was a flurry of activity before winter camp about transportation. And so I know that Carrie had spoken and arranged some transportation with a fellow named Reggie, who was one of the drivers over there. And then Lillian was also trying to organize some transportation. And I was really appreciative of that effort. And I just wondered if that's something that I'm hoping we could continue the discussion on. Because a lot of people, obviously one of the biggest barriers for getting to camp is transportation. And it didn't, and we have a large group of people from the Detroit area that come over. Now, some of you like to ride the train, and which is a lot of fun to do. I love it.
Yeah, I thought the train was great. It was like a big party bus.
So I think that's why people like to ride the train. But it's there's obviously there can be some limitations to that. Schedules and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just kind of, but with summer camp, that there is no train option really for that. And so I know that a lot of people would like to go to summer camp that can't because of the transportation issue. And so I guess question for Kashania, is that something that is being discussed over there?
I think Lillian is with Disability Network.
That's true. That's it. Yeah.
And so I don't know, but I do know that they do have transportation there. I'm not familiar with Disability Network, but I do know that it could be something that could be discussed with Stephanie. If it is if you are a client of our agency and you're trying to get to that camp, that is something that she would probably be willing to do.
No,
but if you're a client.
Is Stephanie with
She's the director. Yeah, she's the director of Greater Detroit.
Greater Detroit, okay.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't know the lady name at Disability Network because I've never been there before, but that's who Lillian's with. I think she was trying to help provide transportation for the people to get to winter camp.
Yes, she was. Okay. I guess I was confused about the difference.
Yep. Now, when I went to summer camp, Great Choice, they provided transportation for us to get to summer camp.
Right.
That was the transportation service that took us to summer camp.
That wasn't right.
Where's Great Choice?
I think they're in Detroit. Her name was Diane, and the other guy name was Ken, and they charged us $50, and they stayed up there with us for the entire weekend. They volunteered, and they stayed up with us, and they took us up there, and they charged us $50, and they had like 2 15-passenger vans, and they had like those those like U-Haul things on the back of their vans to put our luggage in.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And they drove us up there, and they stayed the weekend with us, and then they brought us back. And it was
Are
like
they-
two 15-passenger vans of us that went up there.
Are they still, was it?
I think they still operate, because I think a couple of people still ride with them, but yeah, they're called Great Choice. And they picked us up from our house and they took us there and they brought us back home.
Okay. Well, somehow or other, we need to, I guess, get that word around to people. And I'll speak with Lillian again, just to see what's up with her and what she's up to, because she kind of had it arranged, but then there was a conflict with the fact that Reggie was already doing it, and so, she kind of backed off, and I think they gave a contribution somehow. So, because she would like to try to provide transportation at a low cost, $50 isn't bad, that's pretty good, especially for a round trip situation. So, but we're good with the train. I mean, that was a little different for us because people got into town about an hour early, so
Yeah.
so we arranged a lunch for those folks, which we might ask a little, maybe a contribution next year, like $5 or something like that, for that. But it's we did encourage people to try to arrive like around 2:30 to 3 o'clock at the earliest, if possible. So just so we can, not everybody's there at the same time, and we've got time to get things ready. But when we spoke with the folks at on our team, it wasn't really a problem. So I mean, if people want to still ride the train, that's fine too. So, but I'll follow up with Lillian, and then we'll start working on summer camp to make sure that we have some sort of transportation.
Yeah, if you go back and look at your notes, you had the name of the contact and something to the effect of she might be able to get a transportation grant.
Right. And that was Lillian.
Okay.
Roger, this is Rosemary.
Yep. Hi, Rose. Yes, go ahead.
And what we were thinking of here for summer camp, and if the transportation issue, kind of falls through on that end, is if people can get at least to Grand Rapids, we can attempt to make arrangements to transport people from Grand Rapids up to the camp then.
Right.
Because that's as far as the Greyhound bus will go, won't come any further than that. So, and the train is not feasible because the train would come to Holland, and that doesn't come in till sometime like 11 o'clock at night.
Right.
And even though we could pick up people at the train, it's just not practical. So that's part of that issue too.
Right.
I have one more thing I'd like to share with people before we get wound up here.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's a research project going on at the University of Michigan, and what they're doing is they're using a smartphone that you can put into a device that will work with being able to read and interact with kiosks. And so they're doing research projects on that, and they right now they're looking for people who would like to participate, and they'll pay your drivers, gas and whatever, costs, or if you go by Uber or whatever, they'll pay your transport, as well as give you, I think it's a $50 gift certificate for your participation. So I'll forward Roger the email information, and he can forward it to those of you who have email.
Rosemary, is that the same fellow that you've been working with? You and I know David.
Yeah, this is a different person.
Yeah, it's a different department.
His name is Chen.
Not doing anything right now.
I think it's Chen Yi or something like that. Anyway, he's the one who's doing this. The other one was Jim, but he's not doing this particular project. Different ones do different projects each year. So that's,
okay.
We need to participate. So we want these people to be able to, fine tune these things and have them available to us as blind people to, for more independence.
Right.
It's like, I know, for example, the people who do travel by train, if you can go to the kiosk and get your ticket, it's a lot easier. But of course, we can't interact with a kiosk. We have to get in line and, go, or if there's no person at the station, there's just a kiosk. how do you get on the train then? You know, that kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, that a lot of these agencies are really cutting back on people. I was at a McDonald's the other day, and it said we are kiosk only.
Oh, that's new.
So like to order, you have to go to their kiosk, you know, and order your meal.
And I had an experience with that McDonald's kiosk where I had put in my order and said pay at register, which I had done on a previous occasion, but on this particular day I said pay at register, and I'm waiting and waiting for them to come up to the register to take my money. And finally I waved somebody down, and because, you know, like the person who's bagging the fries traditionally passes them off to the person at the window. Well, the person bagging the fries and assembling all the bags of food was the person at the window and supposed to be watching the front register. So I understood they were shorthanded, but so I'm standing there waiting. I finally wave her down, and she calls somebody else over, and she says she ordered, but I don't see it. Well, it turns out it doesn't get on there in that particular McDonald's, at least, it doesn't get on their make it menu or their make it screen until it's paid. So since nobody was watching the register for incoming orders, my order hadn't even been submitted to the kitchen.
Oh, gee.
Yeah. So.
What a bummer.
So Roger, I'll send you that information. You can distribute that out to people then.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
Renee has her hand up. Go ahead, Ray.
Renee is talking, but she's muted.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. I didn't realize that. My question about the kiosk, because I have, you know, the same type of issue when I go to Taco Bell and stuff. I mean, now they have a person there, but I remember like shortly after COVID, everybody just used the kiosk. I'm used to just going up to the cashier and saying, this is what I want, because I know what I want. I just, I can't use those machines. But what I don't understand as far as technology is when I go to the bank, like I can use the ATM and they will give you free earbuds to be able to use it. It's accessible. You just put it in the audio jack and it tells you what to do. Why don't they have something like that for the kiosk?
Maybe they do, and we just don't know it.
Because that would be helpful. That would be a sufficient, you know.
Right.
A lot of kiosks though don't have buttons.
Yeah.
They're just screen.
Yeah.
Touch screen.
Whereas your
It's
ATMs,
usually
you have
on
buttons you can push and they're marked in Braille. They're on a kiosk, there's no buttons. They're just touch.
It's a good point.
Touch pads.
Another opportunity.
Right. But if it was something similar to like VoiceOver where it would tell you, okay, this is what you're hitting.
And that's what this project is about.
Okay.
You can get a device where you put
Because
your
then you would
smartphone-
know what you're touching,
Yeah.
what you're selecting.
Because I have done this once before, and I'm going back for another session with this. But what they do is they have an iPhone that's put in a device, and the device is moved around onto this kiosk, and it will tell you what it is. And then you tap on I forget how we did that, but there's a way to mark it, you know, and you can go through all the way through until it says pay. And then because we used it experimentally with Panera Bread, which is kind of funny, but we ordered everything on the list, I think.
It's a big menu.
But anyway, the thing is that that's what they're trying to develop. And, you know, and one of the suggestions that I had made during the process is that there be available different sized devices, because some big screen kiosks, some are little ones. I mean, even if you want to use it for your microwave, you want to use it for your printer, like, you know, I know my touchpad on my printer is only about 2 by 3, you know, it's a little tiny thing. So that's one of the things that they're looking at.
That's a great project.
So anyway, if people want to participate, they have the availability. I'll send Roger the information and he'll distribute it
Send it out.
out by email to anybody who doesn't have email and still would like to be a participant. Get a hold of Roger. He'll give you my phone number and I'd be happy to give you the information over the phone.
Great. Thank you, Rosemary.
Yeah, I'd be
Linda
interested
has her
in that.
hand up. Linda, what you got for us?
Summer camp applications probably won't be coming out until June, Gina.
Oh, Linda has her hand up. Linda, you have to unmute yourself and you're on a phone, so that makes it *6.
Okay, is that better?
Yep.
Okay, I've never used kiosk before. Is it something that you go through the drive-through, or is it something you go inside and look at?
It's kind of like those futuristic movies where a robot takes your order, except instead of talking to the robot, there's a flat screen on the front of it, and you have to use the order entry system by yourself. So it has like a menu on it, and it says, do you want a burger, a beverage, a snack? You pick burger, and then you look down and you find the Big Mac, the quarter pounder, the whatever. So
But
yeah,
is it
it's a
on
visual,
the
it's a
inside,
visual
or
menu
is it
inside.
on?
Inside.
It's inside. Okay, like I said, I've never seen that before. Okay, thanks.
As opposed to like an ATM is a kiosk as well. But usually those are, as we've been talking about, those are accessible because they've got, they've got braille buttons and that sort of thing.
And audio.
And the newer things, I don't think they're thinking about people that are blind.
Well, I mean, I think you can order on your phone and do pick up from your local store. So instead of using the kiosk, you could probably use your smartphone and order there for pickup in store. It might even be easier until they make the kiosk accessible. Just a thought, but a person is always easier. I wish they had enough staff members.
Yeah, it's a challenge these days.
Yeah.
So there was just a tour at Leader Dog that Kathy attended.
And Gina.
What did you learn?
Gina, do you want to answer this one? You're muted right now.
Sure. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the dogs themselves, as far as breeding and cryogenic laboratory.
Oh yeah, so if they have a breeding male, yeah, they can freeze the sperm of a breeding male that has been producing good quality dogs. So 5 years after his death, he's still producing puppies.
Very interesting. But it didn't smell like a kennel, or they do very well with keeping everything clean. I really enjoyed the simulation of walking with the guide dog. I don't know what they called it, but the blind walk, I think. But I have some vision, but it is low in one eye and none in my left eye. So I did wear a blindfold to do this, to get the full effect. And I was a bit apprehensive because, I do rely on the little bit I have. And at this point I had none. So I was totally reliant on the guide dog. They moved a little more swiftly than I expected, which, I just didn't know what to expect. So, but yeah, I was pleased and I enjoyed that. So, I think for me, I would have liked to have seen a little bit or got a little bit more of what they do with orientation and mobility, seeing that firsthand, and probably kind of witnessed or ear hustled on them going through training with a participant. because we didn't get to see much of that. I mean, any of that, right, Kathy?
Right. We got to hear about it, but we didn't get to see it. And it was the same thing when I did the tour back in 2019. So for those of you who weren't there, I'll just draw you a quick timeline picture of our visit. When we got there, we started in the meeting room, and they welcomed us and they told us some of the history of Leader Dog and kind of how things work a little bit with the breeding stock, as they call it. The mothers, the female dogs will produce 3 or 4 litters, and then they'll retire the dog. And so the family who hosted her for Leader Dog has the first option to adopt her. Otherwise, other people have the option to adopt her. So the breeding stock female does like 3 or 4 litters, and these puppies will then be with the first family, the one that they're born to, for like 7 or 8 weeks. And then they go to Leader Dog for 2 weeks, where they visit the vet, they're checked for, you know, all kinds of potential health issues, and to see how smart they are and how reliable and compliant and teachable. And then after those 2 weeks, they go to a family that, or a person that's their puppy raiser, and they're with the puppy raiser for about a year. So at that time, after a year, so now that's a year plus 8 weeks. So at 14, 15 months old, they are back at Leader Dog, and they train the dog, and then they pair the dog with a recipient. And so someone who has put in an application for a Leader Dog, if they're approved, they come and they stay in the residence hall for a couple of weeks, where they get all their training on mobility and using a dog. And then, like, their graduation present is a dog. They finally get to meet the dog that Leader Dog thinks will best suit them. So some people live in the country where there's no sidewalks, just country roads. Some people live in the city where there's sidewalks and traffic. So all of these dogs have to be trained to focus on their job, not be distracted by squirrels, not constantly be asking for petting. They are there to do a job when they're wearing their harness. When the harness comes off, then they can be puppies. They're dogs, you know, they can, but when they are working, they can't chase the squirrels. They can't chase the cats. You know, they can't go up to everybody for lovings. They're there to guide their person, to warn their person when there's an obstacle in front of them. And so one of the hallways they walked us down has obstacles in the hallway, including bars that swing out from the wall so that they're at different heights. So even though the dog could walk under this bar, they know that their person would hit it. And so the dog will either stop to indicate there's an obstacle in front, or they will simply veer their person around it. So one of the things they emphasized was the trust factor between a guide dog and a person, because they need to listen to each other. And a lot of times that listening is simply in the form of movement that is felt in the handle that connects the dog to the person. And so feeling that communication, that the dog says, whoa, there's something we need to deal with. And, you know, if they get to a crosswalk and they start to cross, but then the dog sees a car come flying up to run the red light, they're going to hold their person back. You know, so that communication is very important. See what I forget, Gina? Oh, then after we did that, the tour of the building and heard all of the history, that's when we got the dog walk. And yeah, it's kind of scary to wear a blindfold and to trust that dog to take you where you're supposed to go. And for me, it felt like the dog was veering to the right. And I don't know whether we really were going to the right, or if it was just my sense of orientation with that blindfold on, but it felt like we weren't walking straight. So I couldn't take full steps because I felt like I had to take short steps because we weren't walking a straight line. It didn't feel straight to me.
Yeah, I know what you mean with that. It was veering. It just was not a straight walk, but I think that was probably because the dogs themselves and what we were doing per se, you know, because I think I don't think those dogs were retired, were they?
No, well, I don't know about the chocolate lab, but the black lab, Lily, she was a leader dog in training who just wasn't cut out to be a leader dog for whatever reason. And so she was, quote, career changed.
Yes.
And so now she's an ambassador for leader dog. So she was helping out, but she was not fully trained leader dog.
Couple of hands up. Thank you, Kathy. That's a great explanation.
And Gina.
It was good.
Let's see, Cynthia. You have your hand up. You'll need to unmute yourself. *6. Or hit the.
Looks like she's on a tablet or a computer, so she probably has a button in the lower right-hand corner that says mute, unmute.
Someone's got to help her.
She has brought her helper. Do you see Cynthia's unmute button in the lower right-hand corner of the screen? Well, while she looks for that, does Kashana want to jump in? And we'll come back to Cynthia. Kashana is muted as well.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes.
I was listening to you talk when you was talking about the obstacles and the obstacle. I can't even say it. And the cars shooting out. That's actually part of the training when they take you out on the street with your dog.
Yeah.
They do that because when I went up there to get my dog, they did that training. And when
Did you
Gina
get it
was
from
saying,
Leader Dog?
I did.
Tell us more about your experience.
How
were the dorms?
The dorms were amazing. Just having your own room, and it was nice because they had that extra door that you can go back out to take your dog out at night. It kind of gave you you have the door that goes in the hall, then you have the door that goes to the outside. So everybody had their own door to go out, and you had their spot where you go to park your dog. And Ivy was kind of different because she wouldn't park on that gravel, so I had to take her down the sidewalk to park on the grass. So everybody dog. So you kind of met everybody out there in the morning to park your dog, and everybody dog would park, and sometimes your dog be trying to play. But the whole experience at Leader Dog I thought was amazing. And I wanted to tell Gina that when she was talking about her dog was walking fast, when they come out to your house to do your video, or when you send your video to them, they kind of look at how you walk, and they pace your dog based on the way you walk. So you might be a fast walker or a slow walker, but that's how they'll pace your dog, to kind of walk with your speed. And then when you veer to the left, because I kind of go over to the left when I walk. So when they gave me Ivy, she'll keep me straight to kind of pull me.
Okay.
So that's how they kind of measure your walking. So if you're a person that veers a lot to the left or the right, that's how they'll make your dog to match up to you. So she'll keep you straight.
That's good.
So that's the purpose of that video. When they tell you to make that video, or they have someone make the video for you, but they send someone out to the house to make my video for me.
Okay. Can I ask you one question? Kashana. So you stayed at that facility where we went to tour right there? Because we didn't get to see that side.
Yeah, I stayed right there in Rochester Hills. Yep, I stayed out there, and it's a nice place. You have your own room. You got Netflix, and you got your own bath. It's like a hotel, because when you leave, they come in and clean your room up for you and everything. When you come back, they make your bed. I mean, I made my own bed, but you can tell that they came in and made it for you too. After you left, they changed your sheets. So it's actually like staying in a hotel there, and the food is absolutely amazing. I just wanted to add that. Nice. I was there for 3 weeks, and they did not repeat a meal, not one day when I was there.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Hey, Gina, do you remember when we were in the puppy kennels, and he was talking about the garage doors that can open to let in more air?
Yes.
If you looked out through the garage doors, you could see another building about 100 yards away. That was the residence hall. But they
did you and Kathy get a chance to see
there.
Did y'all see the little bitty baby puppies? Did they let y'all see the babies?
Yeah. We got
We
an
saw
executive
some that
tour.
had just come back. So we saw the 8-week-old puppies. Fluff
Yeah.
balls. Such
Right.
fluff balls.
This is Rosemary.
But
May
you
I
can
share
sign up
something?
to, yeah, go, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I just want to share something. I have a guide dog, but my dog is from Guide Dogs for the Blind in California. And all the things that you're sharing about leader dogs, same thing that the school that I went to do as well. They do all, I think all the guide dog schools do similar things. And I did have a tour of the leader dog campus because of being a lion. And it was shortly after I got my dog Scuba, and he had a problem with there's a device that they can wear called a gentle leader, and mine had fallen apart while I was there on the leader dog campus, and they were very kind, and they gave me another one, and then they didn't even charge me for it or anything. So I just want to let people know that all the guide dog schools do pretty much the same things, and they do work together when something is needed. And I said that I appreciated that. That was a good thing.
That's very good. One of the things Kashania mentioned was that they studied how she walked so that the dog could kind of compensate to keep her walking straight. One of the things they showed us is the tack room, where the leather harnesses are made, where they're assembled. And they showed us that there's different handles. So some of them, if you reach your hand down to your side, sometimes your knuckles are facing directly forward. Sometimes your knuckles might be facing outward. So they angle the handle so that it's comfortable for you. So that was kind of interesting to see.
Yeah, I have one of those that are angled like that.
And they have a short one and a long one too, Kathy. And they will accommodate you too. I don't know if they told you guys that, because if you're right-handed, it's kind of difficult because you have to do the dog on the left, but they do accommodate people that prefer to have their dog on the right side.
Yeah, and it's they need to know, the school usually needs to know ahead of time, so that they can train a dog to be on the right, because they have to do things a little differently. If you, I've known like people who have maybe some paralysis on their left and need to be guided by their right, and that's what our school told they have to know that early on
ahead of time.
A dog specifically to do that.
Hey, I see that Cynthia finally found her unmute. Cynthia, do you want to jump in?
Yeah. I was interested in going to the leader dog for a week. They gave us they brought a leader dog out to one of our meetings on Monday at the vision thing that we have every other Monday. And they gave little, applications and a number that I could call if I wanted to go just, do the cane training or the dog training, and that sounded like a nice place to go, for a week,
Yeah, that would be for your cane training, I believe.
Yeah. And about the restaurant, I know recently we went out in Taylor, and we was gonna go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, and when they pull up, the sign said you have to go line only to make make order, and it's pick up and delivery. That's the first time I've ever seen that one. But they got one out there, where we went that time. And that's, difficult, it would be difficult for me because I'm not computer savvy that well.
Right.
One McDonald's around here that's, you go in, you just use the kiosk to make your order. You don't, go up to the person and make your order.
Right. Thanks for sharing.
David.
David is muted. I think he's looking. There we go.
Hi. Yeah, I can relate to what you guys were talking about. I actually got my leader dog, Emily, from Leader Dogs for the Blind, and I've had a tour there before, and I've done their white K-Trade. So they, they try to match you up as best as they can. What they showed you, they actually had us do, with the car, they had us do that and train where, one of the, well, I think it was, at that time, it was the class coordinator. His name is David as well, but he would, drive by and then, that the dog would have to stop when they came by. And Kennedy did a pretty good job of that. They also had some obstacles out on the sidewalk that he had to go around. And the tool site, I thought that I like that they have is they have 2 doors, so the one that you take the dog out to go to the bathroom, and then one that you go into the hallway. And the food was good, but I only stayed there for 2.5 weeks because I was doing it before their summer camp. So I wish I would have had a little more time there. And he's my first guide dog, so I've definitely learned quite a bit since I've had him. I've had him for 8 years in June.
Wow, 8 years.
Yeah.
Now, do they have like refresher courses where you can come back?
They do, and then there's they also have, I don't know if they talked about this last Thursday at the tour, but they have trainers that go out in the field and work with you. They're called field reps. So if you need something to be worked on, you can call up client services and they will send someone out to work with you. I know they also have like different types of training where you can go to do some on campus and some that they'll come to your house for.
Cool, thanks.
Yeah.
We're currently at 2:40 p.m. We did start a little bit late today. We usually end about 2:30. Do we have anything else on our agenda, Roger? Anybody else have any comments they want to say before we wrap up?
Well, I have just one little announcement to make. And a couple, I think Renee and David went to Visions. I forget what year it was. It was either last year or
2022.
2022 in Ann Arbor at the Ann Arbor Public Library. And they're going to have that again. It'll be Visions 2023. It's at the end of June.
Okay.
I don't know the exact date. I'll have to look at it because they called me and said, hey, do you want to be a vendor at Visions? And
cool.
I'm going to probably take the winter camp stuff.
Can be good.
And so anyway, just want to let you know it looked like it was a pretty good event. I wasn't able to stay for the whole thing, but I did.
Yeah,
they have a pretty extensive event.
Yeah, I'd like to go again.
A couple times. They have tables set up with information from, organizations that deal with things for the blind. They have what our convention committee would call breakout sessions, where you can go to a seminar and hear someone talk about things. Product demonstrations. What else, Renee?
One of my friends, I guess she did this a few years ago. She bought her Orcam there.
Ah, okay.
The little thing that goes on your glasses.
Right.
I have the Vision glasses, but that's similar to the Orcam.
It's going to be the 7th, Roger. I'll be there.
The 7th?
June 7th?
June. Yep.
Oh,
thanks.
Okay. I thought the lady told me it was at the end of June, but
I found out about this event last year through a blind lady that works at the Rochester Public Library.
The lady that mentioned the thing about the Orcam, when they sell them there, are they discounted there or are they're full price?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, she got it there, and then she, went to the event last year and was disappointed because the OrCam company organization wasn't there. That was like, I guess, the main purpose that she was going, and to meet with them again, and they weren't there that year. So
yeah, sometimes the list of vendors is published ahead of time for events, and sometimes it just says these vendors plus more. And
okay.
So maybe I'll see if I can find the web page from the library, and which will have all the details, or Roger has the details.
I'll see if I have the person to contact, so I'll be able to, find out.
Should be right on the AADL website. So,
but I just wanted to mention that. I don't really have anything else. If anybody else has anything they'd like to share, otherwise we can wrap up. Okay.
Now I have a comment about Cam.
Okay.
That I didn't make earlier. So, and I really enjoyed my experience, and I was very impressed with all the volunteers and just the way things were structured and the friendliness of people, and especially the associates, getting to know them and all that. And I honestly thought, because I took the train and the train was coming in earlier than I think you guys were prepared for people. I thought that I was going to be sitting at the train station for 3 hours. I was really impressed that you already had things lined up and volunteers there, taking care of everything. One thing that I would suggest, which I know there's some campers that probably don't agree with this, but I think there should be more activities available, just because that was my intention, is I'm there to engage with other people and participate in everything that was available, because I want to experience everything. And I just felt like yes, there should be downtime, but I think there should always be an option to have something going on where I can practice Braille with somebody, or somebody can teach me how to use my slate and stylus, and it not so much like a high-packed bingo game, which I know we did on Saturday, but other times where there wasn't anything going on and everybody's just waiting around until dinner for hours.
Well, I don't know if WMU included slate and stylus. Does anybody know if WMU had slate and stylus at their technology table?
I don't know.
Yeah, so that would have been where that would have been, at the technology table, which was open for a few hours. But
right, but I'm just thinking, because
you had your checklist going. You had I need to do this and this and this because it's on the list, and
I enjoyed the snowshoeing the most because I've never done that before. I asked about cross-country skiing, and they said, yes, we have them, but we're not doing that activity this year.
Actually, we pretty much don't do cross-country skiing anymore because the equipment they have is in terrible shape. So
okay,
it's not really usable
unless you bring your own.
Unless you bring your own, right?
But the thing is that lots of times there are activities that they overlap. So you have to choose one or the other. You can't just do this one and then go do that one. Like, for example, they may do the sleigh ride during bingo time, or they may do crafts during bingo time. So you have to pick and choose what you want to do.
Right. But then there were times that it's there wasn't anything available to do.
That's interesting because I myself found something to do the whole time, and you know, I was
Unless something was going on that I didn't know about, but
yeah, like we had the Lions Charter Party. That was cool to participate in. And you know, in the afternoon we also did the wagon ride. In the morning we did, you know, a couple of other things that were going on. We went up to the bird cabin and listened to the birds, and you know, when I've been up there, and I've been a long time camper, I've about seldom found any downtime. Maybe in the evening,
for
but that's
those
about
who
it.
didn't go, sorry, let me just jump in here a second. For those who didn't go to the charter event, there was definitely a lull in the hallway, and I actually had to chase the associates out of the fireplace room because the doors were open on the charter event. And so where a lot of people usually socialize in that fireplace room, because the doors were open, sound would have interrupted the meeting.
But there was also snowshoeing that was going on during that time too.
No, well, yeah, it was kind of done. There was about an hour.
That was something I wanted to do.
Where there was nothing scheduled.
Go forego that. So, but
and
you can always find
people talk
something
to each other.
So I'll jump in. The charter party was obviously that was a unique thing this year, and so next year. And so Renee, this was your first year coming to camp.
Yes.
So next year it'll probably be structured a bit differently. So be patient, and if you have specific things you'd like to do, let me know, and we'll see if we can get something set up. So if you like one year. Somebody was going to do Braille repair. So they said, well, why don't you bring your Braille writers and we'll have somebody there to repair them. And so, you know, I mean, if people have specific things that they'd like to do, we can certainly work on getting that organized. And we kind of have the standard things, but we also do like to put in a few different things. Like one year we had a massage therapist. One year
no, it wasn't massage therapy. It was the no touch.
Cranial sacral, whatever that is. It's something anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of a popular thing. But the lady was there to try to get clients. And the problem was that people enjoyed the experience, but I think unless you could afford it, you know, it would be something very difficult to kind of keep up with. So, you know, there was a cost factor in that was sort of a barrier, I think. But you know, we had a discussion about diabetes and healthy for diabetes. So we've had some other kind of activities going on, but it just kind of depends on what people would like to see. So people, you know, everybody pretty much enjoys crafts and bingo, and you know, they have the technology table there where people can help out. But like I say, we were a little bit disrupted on the timing of some of those things with the charter. So.
Right. Well, one thing that I'm getting at is like when I say Braille and slate and stylus or voiceover, like I mean certain things like that, I just mean that within the blind community, you know, as far as the other campers, we're kind of all at different levels of blindness and how long we've been fighting, you know, dealing with the challenges and stuff. And so there's people that know more about something than I do. So can we just like get in one room and help each other and, you know, help me learn how to do this because you know how to do this and I don't, and I've never experienced this, and you know, so it doesn't necessarily have to be like somebody from
sort of like Winter Camp Chat Live. You want Winter Camp Chat Live where there's a roundtable discussion? Well, I mean, because, and that was my comment about the fireplace room, is that usually that's where people sit and they rub elbows a little bit, but we didn't have that living room feel set up at the other end of the building. But we will have it again next year, that living room feeling where people can sit and talk to their neighbors. And because I can imagine if you can't see, you're kind of just this silo and you don't know where there's pockets of people standing around talking to each other. And maybe just like in any world, you don't necessarily feel welcome to enter that circle of discussion.
Yeah,
So-
coming in as a new person, it's not always easy for me to initiate conversation with people I don't know, other than like talking about the weather. So
that's a good discussion. I mean, I've got
I
the
don't know
sun
if you,
again.
if you ever want to do an icebreaker activity. Some people like them and some people don't, but just to sort of find other ways of connecting people.
Sure. Yeah. That's a great point. That's a great point.
I felt like it was a special event, but I felt like the charter event for me cut it to the time that I wanted to do some other stuff. But the charter event was, I think it was good that we had it.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Yes, it was.
All right, so I'll write down here, we need like a winter camp chat live or a discussion group. And all we really need to do is set up a place for it, and then people can run with it. And I see here we have, Gina says, well, maybe we put that on the application. Is what else would you like to see?
Okay,
That's
that's
specific things, and so then we can plan ahead to pair them with somebody.
That'd be great. Yeah, we can do that. We have room on there to do that. So
Yeah, it's only 3 pages. We can make it 4.
well, it's actually 6 pages.
Yeah, it is.
Actually, the application was only 4 pages. The first 2 pages were just information. So
there you go.
Okay.
And
True.
And in the future, you don't have to send that informational page back to us. That's actually something that you would keep, because
Okay.
like your packing list and all that kind of stuff on it.
People actually return that?
Yeah, yes.
Oh,
Which makes it heavier and requires more postage, so I may put on there, do not return this form, or keep this form, or something like that, but.
Were they all stapled together when you sent it out?
Yes, they were.
So maybe if they were stapled as a 2-pager and a 4-pager, it would be more obvious.
Maybe I staple the 2-pager together and just fold in the other one. That's probably.
Yeah, that
like
would
that.
probably be helpful.
Yeah, okay. See, this is why we do this. All righty. Anything else? I want to make sure anybody that has something, can say it if they want to. So has a chance to share.
Yeah, I heard that the library down here at Frederick Douglass is open again for the vision impaired and blind.
The Frederick Douglass
good.
Library.
The library, I heard that they just opened back up for days that they would be doing things. I have to find out more information.
Okay.
Just give you this, Marion Ward. Yeah, it's open, but they're doing certain things right now. They're taking one step at a time to see how things are working out, like the cooking class and that sort of thing like that. So they're not going to have one Monday. So as far as I know, they're doing one thing at a time. The reason why I'm saying that because I teach the Nifty Knitters. Ava and I was doing it. And so when she passed away, I took it over. So right now, that's not going on right now at the moment. But they'll let you know when.
So this is the Frederick Douglass Library for the Blind.
In Detroit, yes.
Okay. And do you guys have meetings down there, or do they have a support group, or just
I have
classes?
a computer class too.
Just the activities right now, but they're just doing one thing at a time, a few things at a time. So, because they generally have like movies, a movie day, like I said, Nifty Knitter Day, a bingo day. They haven't decided on that yet. So they're just taking one thing at a time and one, day at a time, what they're going to do.
Okay. I do have a question, not about that, but I just keep forgetting it. The Salvation Army summer camp, or yeah, I guess it's the Salvation Army summer camp. Does anybody know anything about that?
Yes.
I don't.
They're not having it anymore. We can't get enough people interested, and they're saying that we can't come this year, but if we can get 50 people together, they would consider having us back again next year. We're combined with the senior citizen group, and they just say there's just not enough of us to, because some of our programs are separate from theirs,
Excuse me.
and they say there's just not enough of us.
Okay.
Really?
So this year, we're not having camp again.
Okay, that's too
So
bad.
yeah, it is too bad. I've been going to that camp as long as winter camp. That's like 50 years. I've been going to both of them forever.
Well,
When does that camp happen?
That camp is going to be in June.
So
But
they have already called it off in March,
yes,
saying they
for
don't
our
have enough
group.
people for June?
Yep, they've already said we can't come. Ask Ty about it. He'll tell you. He talked to Major Wayne, and that's what Major Wayne told him. And no
Well,
camp.
from what I gather, this is Marion Ward. From what I gather, we got a few, where I am in Dearborn Heights, Michigan, at the Dearborn Heights Co-op. There are a couple of seniors that go to the Salvation Army camp, and the reason why they didn't have us out there, they said they got too much construction work out there.
Well,
Now,
they're
that's-
done with that. So
No, they
finished.
continue something else. I heard now. They've been
Well,
working
all
on
I
something
know is
else.
what Ty told us, and he just said that they told him there just aren't enough of us.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I
you
think
know,
I heard that
sometimes
construction
they'll
work,
come up
someone
with
shared that
different-
before.
Sometimes they come up with different reasons why. I personally, I think they're just trying to phase us out. I really do,
That
because
could
the
be.
Western Division and the Eastern Division have now combined, and the only summer camp is the one we have over here. So obviously, there's going to be a lot more seniors coming to this camp, and so I kind of have that feeling myself.
Making us
anyway.
phasing us out.
So is
Yeah,
that-
but they just don't want us there anymore.
So is the senior citizen a separate thing?
Yes, we do some things together, like the evening programs and Bible study and things like that. But bingo, our people are a lot more. They can't play as fast as sighted. Plus, we have our own, the Braille bingo cards and things like that. And some programs we can do together, and some we can't. So, and people need a little extra help getting around, and they just don't want to, I think, be bothered.
Accommodate people.
Yes.
That's unfortunate.
It is. It really is. Because, like I say, Don and I have been going to that camp. Gosh, that's where we met. And that was
Wow.
about 50 years ago.
Where is that
So-
camp held?
It's in Leonard, Michigan, which is like by Oxford, just north of Pontiac.
Okay.
Knew that long myself.
So it's a nice camp, but like I say, it's that they won't have it for us this year. But they said if we could get 50 people next year together, they would consider it. So
Well, maybe you guys over there can start drumming up business,
Maybe talk to Bear Lake Camp for the Blind and see if there's that they could help with networking. Because Bear Lake Camp is for kids, and you're talking more for adults, right?
it is an adult camp, yes.
Yeah, but some of those Bear Lake Camp kids 5 years later might want to go to adult camp.
That's true too.
So maybe Tracy Tribley, the director over there, maybe she could help with.
Well, like I say, I'm not too sure they're that interested in us being there anymore. So we could tell them, but
She might be able to help find out the inside track.
yeah, very possible.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you need her number?
Not right now, but
Okay.
'cause I don't.
I could.
This is who's telling me this.
Kathy. This is
That's
Kathy.
Kathy.
I'm
Oh,
stirring
okay.
the pot, trying to be helpful.
Oh, okay, okay. But this year they said they're not going to have us, so for this year it wouldn't make a difference.
Sounds like it's done. So summer.
But thank you.
Is summer camp in Muskegon going to be the second weekend in August again, or is it the third? Rosemary.
It is the 12th.
she said the second weekend up at winter camp.
Okay,
When we've talked about it before, I wrote it down. It's the 12th through the 14th.
okay. Of August, all right.
Gotta go to that.
Yeah,
And I-
Rosemary's muted, so she might be talking, but I can't hear her.
I'm going to try to get some more information, but I met a gentleman at the state, Michigan State Forum from Detroit, and he's with the Detroit Renaissance Lions Club, and they are going to have some sort of a big event. And I think it's also in June. Looks like it was the June 24th. There's going to be some sort of an event, activities, a bunch of different activities and different things for, for the blind, and maybe everybody else. I don't know anything more about it than that.
You just know a date?
Just know the date, right?
Is it specifically for Lions members or just for anybody?
I think it's for anybody. It's for the
Okay.
public, but it's being put on by the Lions Club over there.
Detroit Renaissance Club.
Detroit Renaissance, I believe. So
Maybe you could find out more for next month.
I will try to find out more.
Detroit Renaissance Club hosting event, or maybe it's on their webpage or
I'll
something.
have to look. He didn't have a lot of details, sort of like, sort of a general idea, but he was interested in me coming over to talk about winter camp. So
So they're still in the planning stages.
I think so. So that's all I've got today. It's been great, good discussion. Glad everybody could make it.
All right, and we'll see you next month on what day?
Oh, let's see, March.
Saturday.
Ha ha ha. Mine says 15.
Yeah, that sounds like great.
April 15.
Mhm.
That is the third Saturday in, wait a minute,
April.
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 I was looking at June and it was also the 15th. I'll be about a week in, I'll be about a week into my knee replacement at that point. So
Oh, you're getting knee replacement.
So see, you'll be stuck at home.
I'll be stuck at
Might
home.
as well talk to us.
Looking on the phone. Yep.
Yeah. What was the date again? April what?
15th.
Oh, 15th. Okay, thanks.
Isn't that tax day?
Yep.
Yeah, well, they put it since it's on a Saturday. I think they put it to the 18th in there.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the 17th, I think. 17th or 18th. So is
It's
tax.
the 18th.
With the
The
tax.
18th for the tax day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
This
All
is
right.
on the weekend.
I'm gonna go ahead and
All
turn
right,
off the
everybody have a
recording
good time.
All righty.
Take care, everybody.
Have a
Bye.
good month,
Okay.
everybody. Good talking
Bye-bye.
with everybody.
Bye,
All right,
everybody.
bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.